The sole candidate for admission to the honours degree of Bachelor of Laws, Katina Elise Gregory, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Finance. For admission to the degree of Bachelor of Laws and Legal Practice, Rachel Vicky Abella, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of International Studies. Lisa Marie Gascoigne, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Behavioural Science, Psychology. Joanne Heather Liptak.
Is that a guy or a girl?
Jessica Nichols. Natasha Poneros, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Behavioural Science, Psychology.
Big nose. Oh my god.
Tara Elise Schrabel.
She was a nice job.
And Maya Sama Svens. For admission to the honours degree of Bachelor of Laws and Legal Practice, Nicole Cittadini, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Accounting. Hannah Patricia Manuel. Rachel Lee Martin. Miles Harold Mayo. Donna Marie Murphy. Elizabeth Ann Shembry. David Malcolm Wan. And Michael John Stewart White, also for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. The sole candidate for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Media Creative Arts, Francis Deans Costi. The sole candidate for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Special Education, Patricia Ann Nixon Almeida. The sole candidate for admission to the honours degree of Bachelor of Theology, Roger Maxwell. Fikele Precious Shongwe. Chitachone Fonse. Fazla Wahid.
What? Fazla? Fazla is shit.
Charlotte Noel Wynn.
Charlotte Noel.
Ronald Zadrak Alexander Yerosarai.
Euros?
And Aminat Zubair. The sole candidate for admission to the degree of Master of Language Studies, Mina Kiwara. The sole candidate for admission to the degree of Master of Law, International Relations, Hannah Rose Goddard. The sole candidate for admission to the degree of Master of Screen and Media Production, Nguyen T. Hong Chi. For admission to the degree of Master of Teaching, I present graduates as set out in the printed program in the specific fields of early childhood and English as a second language, Yeong Chun Che.
Look at that one. You missed that.
Margaret Rose Clark. Tina Constantinidis. Carissa Carla Ocon. This research investigates how Indonesian university students learning English viewed their interpersonal relationships with their teachers in terms of communication, trust and alienation, and how this relationship was associated with achievements. Lower levels of trust were reported by students who judged that a teacher's methods of teaching did not suit them, and higher levels of alienation were negatively associated with levels of achievement. The significance of the research lies in its potential contribution to understanding why English language performance is seen as an issue of concern in Indonesian tertiary education. Dr. Suryanto. For admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Irene Belperio. By thesis entitled Medusa, St. Lucy and Beatrice, Dante's Vision, Quest in the Commedia and Redemption through the Gaze of the Other. The thesis offers a reading of Dante Alighieri's magnum opus, the comedy, based on the examination of several key concepts, namely vision, the female presence, pilgrimage and self-recognition via three of the poem's characters, Medusa, St. Lucy and Beatrice. The discussion reveals the female trio as previously overlooked in the commentary tradition and as important aspects of the poet's exploration of Christian salvation, both significant within Dante's studies because of the critical literature's 700-year-old history and the comedy's dense polysemy. Dr. Irene Belperio. Laura Dean, by thesis entitled Australian Psychoses, Women's Madness and Australian Psychosis. Laura Dean's PhD thesis examines madness, violence and sexual abuse in three novels by Christina Stead and Kate Grenville. She argues that the violent male characters of the novels exhibit symptoms of colonial paranoia about race and gender, revealing the operations of a wider cultural pathology that underpins the production of Australian national identity. Dr. Laura Dean. Kylie Jane Doyle, by thesis entitled The Other Driver, an analysis of the construction of culpable subjectivities in advertising aimed at reducing motor vehicle-related injuries and fatalities. Kylie Doyle's thesis explores an under-researched area in criminology by examining how fear-inducing imagery is deployed in advertising aimed at reducing motor vehicle-related injuries and fatalities. The thesis unpacks how these advertisements work, analyses how spectators make meaning of them, and maps their projected impact. Dr. Kylie Jane Doyle. Terence John Hagan, by thesis entitled The Concept of Legal Right, Conceptual Analysis and Explication. The thesis develops the methodology of integrating a conceptual analysis of and explication of the concept of legal right by providing a framework for analysing existing common law or legislative rights and developing future rights. The respective roles of analytical and evaluative jurisprudence are reflected in the essential categories of characteristics of form, content and function in the definition of legal right that the thesis proposes. Dr. Terence John Hagan. Annette Margaret Mana, by thesis entitled A Desire of Her Own. The thesis re-evaluates Dorothy Hewitt's textual references to landscape, sex and family histories to reveal the complexities and contradictions within her oeuvre. The novel, entitled A New Name for the Colour Blue, explores community attitudes in regional South Australia during the 1960s and 1990s towards male power and Indigenous colonialist relations, and reimagines white female belonging to the land. Dr. Annette Margaret Mana. Beatrice Puna, by thesis entitled To Discern the Body is to Become the Body, an investigation into the communal displacement practices of the Church. In this investigation, Beatrice Puna
Chancellor, I present to you the candidates who have fulfilled the conditions prescribed for admission to degrees or award of certificates or diplomas in the Faculty of Social and Behavioural Sciences.
In the name of the University, I admit to the degree or award the certificate or diploma for which he or she has fulfilled the prescribed conditions, each candidate as he or she is presented to me by Professor Phyllis Tharanow, Executive Dean of the Faculty of Social and Behavioural Sciences.
For admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Ning Heng Ji.
What is that?
Kami Porshafi. For admission to the Honours degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sarah Joanne Hugh. And Paul Lawrence Morissette. The sole candidate for admission to the Honours degree of Bachelor of Behavioural Science, Satomi Endo. For admission to the degree of Bachelor of Behavioural Science, Psychology, Alison Barrett. For admission to the degree of Bachelor of Business, I present graduates as set out in the printed program, including those in the specific fields of business economics, human resource management and marketing. Sean Boot.
Is that your part? So you doing that?
Shuin Chang.
Okay,
James Dunlop.
Dunlop.
Mohammed Faisal Jamal.
Woo!
Jenny Jong.
Where is she screaming?
Michael Yospatis. Usman Farouk Khan.